Hey everyone, just a new video about something that I bought last year, which is a third age axe. So I bought this item, as you can see in the screenshot taken from November last year, for 367.4 mil, 0.5 mil realistically, rounding that off. But that's obviously very expensive for a lot of players, but considering what that's come to now, it's looking like it's paid off. So this was actually an investment that I put through with the Forestry update in mind, because I thought that even without I think this was before the two-handed axe idea was pitched for phase 2, but I thought even then that this axe would be used a lot more, and just as a showcase item. I know a lot of players like showing off their items, and with the two-handed axe phase 2 update, it's just skyrocketed in value. So I think it's settled with GE Tracker. We'll go into this a bit more, but I think it is around the 1 billion mark, but in if you check with the price guide in-game, it'll be about 800 or so mil. So even going up 500 to 700 mil is a lot of GP. But I actually think this item with that phase 2 will potentially raise this item to like the max cash stack, which is 2.147 bill. I just think this has the potential like to be the new third age pickaxe, because of its rarity, and also because it will be used more. And the two-handed axe actually is a nice and appealing item compared to the one-handed axe, which doesn't really have the same appeal as the third age pickaxe. I know these are little things, but I do feel like RuneScape, OSRS is going down that track of it's trying to find the niche items that are the most marketable, in the sense that it's a rare item. I know Bodhi's talked about this before, about the party hats and things. There's never been an item like that, the FOMO sort of items from the holiday drops for OSRS, but I feel like, as he's probably said before, I think his goal is to get all the third age. Well, I do feel like these niche third age items are the rarity, so I'm hoping it will raise a lot of money. I'm probably just going to keep it anyway, because I love the new artwork of the two-hander, and I hope that releases in phase 2. But I'll just jump into a bit more info to show you what I mean, just to back up my projection for this item. Hey guys, so I'm just proving that I do indeed have the third age axe. So yep, third age axe in my inventory. Soon to be probably a two-hander, which I'll probably make an update video using that. But obviously it won't be the best available. The best will be the crystal. Definitely going to make the two-hander for the crystal. So maybe I won't in the end, but yeah, I think this two-handed axe update's definitely going to be a good thing for this third age axe. So let's get in to check the GE now. Alright, so just looking up third age items here. So we're looking up the third age axe in question. So if we type in third age, now interestingly you will see a third age 2H axe, which is the two-handed axe I was talking about, and it actually says that it's actively traded, but I know I have seen players during Forestry saying, oh, the two-handed axes are in the game. They're actually not, but they are placeholders in the Grand Exchange. You can't actually make them either, but they've got them here as ready to go once that goes live in the site. So if we type in this axe that I have, which is the third age axe, you can see that it actively trades for 994 mil, which is a shy of 6 million for the billion GP. It actually on GE Tracker says it goes for, you know, up to, I think it's like a billion 40 mil or around that mark. But here it's, you know, starting at 826 in the GE. So definitely hasn't got to its price like the third age axe, pickaxe, sorry. If we go into there, you can see that's a clean 2.1 bill. My theory is that the axe will eventually get to this, and I think potentially it could even be the axe, the one-handed axe, because it will be used as the ingredient to make the two-handed, and as far as I'm aware, the ruling of that they want is that once you make the two-handed axe, there's no going back, which that will make the one-handed axe exponentially rarer, because the axes that come into the game will be used as a two-handed axe, which does look cooler. So if you're thinking of jumping in and making the axe to two-handed to sell it, I would probably advise against that and see what happens with the price first. I'm probably going to make the two-handed axe because I think it's going to look sick, and there's no loss on my money for that because I bought in at about 300 mil, as you saw. But definitely I'd recommend, if you're in it for the money and merching, I'd just keep the one-hander even once a two-hander releases come September. So that's coming September. I'll look at the GE tracker because that's the other thing I find interesting with all this. So we'll go into the GE tracker to see what's going on there. Alright, so just looking at the GE tracker for the third age axe. So this was updated just pretty much a minute ago now, but it's actually interesting. I hadn't checked this until early this afternoon, but the current price is dropping a lot. So it's actually 952 million, selling quantity an hour at 1. Obviously the GE limit's 40, which is ridiculous. I don't know how many players would have the money for that. There may be some in there though that do have a lot of money. So yeah, that's to me, last trade was 2 hours ago, so there's not many being sold. But if we go down to the price graph, you can actually see here that they are crashing hard. So since Forestry was released, the hype was up. 1.3 bill went up to, and since the 28th, the 20, probably, what's that, the 28th, it dipped by like 100 mil, and then it's ever since then kept falling since going into July. It's totally fell. I do have a bit of a what I think's going on here. So one, the hype was built around phase 1, just releasing Forestry, but Forestry phase 2 is where the hype is, because that's where the two-handed axes are coming in. So what you've seen here with this graph is that the price at the moment, obviously it's just a one-handed axe, it's not providing any benefit, it doesn't look cool, etc, etc. They bought into it, during the first update, but maybe even some buyers didn't realize phase 2 was when the two-handed axes were coming out. So that's what I think with market speculation there. But why it's dipped so hard, another reason around that, because the going up stonkers is because of the update, but why it's dipping so hard is that Jagex has just released their plan with this, the summit thing, all that summer, the releases, the summer things coming up for UK, because in Australia it's actually coming up to our winter now. But what it is their action plan. They've released that Desert Treasure 2 is actually releasing at the end of July, which is, I didn't realise it would be that soon. But obviously players that had all that, because that's a lot of money to build just for like a woodcutting axe. So I reckon a lot of the players in the market have sold it, and they're going on to what the new thing will be, because they don't have much time up until then. That's a window of 20 or so days, and then you sell just before the update releases, which is what usually happens in these cases. So Desert Treasure 2, you might be looking at your mage items, things like that. So I wouldn't panic if you bought in at a high price for this and you've come in late to the party, because this thing, mark my words, you can flame me in the comments if it goes in a burning hell the price, but I actually think the two-handed axe will raise this to stonkers level with like the third age pickaxe. I just think that woodcutting was very dull, and it was a cool skill to do if you're AFK, but like I think this woodcutting update's really risen the activity, and also the newer players coming in are like, oh sweet, I can join this clan chat, it's a bit social, it's like shooting stars with the mining. Oh cool, he's got this cool looking axe, oh how much is it, 2 bill, or however much it'll be in the future, and then they think that's crazy because, you know, there's not many out in the being actively traded. So you can see here as well, which I found interesting, was the overall high, 1.3 billion. So it's already reached that without two-handed axes being in the game, which I think is pretty incredible. And it's saying the overall low now is reaching 950 mil. I don't think it's going to stabilize back to what I bought in at. I honestly think it might go, probably sit around the 600 mil mark until September, or maybe not even that, go crash that hard. But I think it definitely won't sit at 1 bill, you know, with what we're seeing here. So I think it might be a bit of a fluctuation again, probably around August, maybe, coming into September. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Now I just wanted to go into the Osiris Wiki too to show you some other things. Alright, so rolling into the Osiris Wiki here with the third age 2H axe, which is what I was talking about with the price going stonks of this item. So what I wanted to mention before beginning is this article contains information about a subject known only to exist in the game APIs or cache. The content is not known to be accessible in game or may be reversed for use in a future update. Reserved, sorry, not reversed. So what that is, you know how I said in GE it has it lists the third age two-hander axe and it's saying actively traded, but it's actually not. It's actually just using, it has to use something there to be in the GE, so that's obviously the default price for that item, but it's not actually there. It's ready to go once the first axe handle is made on the third age axe and one-hand axe, and then that's sold into the GE. It's ready to go. It's got the data there behind to sell and be an actively traded item. So that's why you might notice players telling you that the two-handed axes exist in game. Now, it's actually the data that exists with this API, but it doesn't actually have anything going for it. You can't actually wield a two-handed axe, a woodcutting axe as yet, but come phase 2, once the axe handle's in game, you'll be able to do that, and you'll see a lot of them in September. So reading on here, the third age 2H axe is a type of two-handed axe requiring attack level of 65 to be equipped and a woodcutting level of 61 to be used, much like the dragon woodcutting axe. Players can create the axe by using an axe handle on a third age axe. This process is irreversible, but the two-handed axe itself remains tradable. So this is important to note, because what this is very important if you're coming in here just to make money. So the one-handed axe will be much rarer, because those axes that are used to become two-handed will now only be sold as a two-handed axe, and they won't be sold as a one-handed axe, making the ingredient exponentially rarer, because one, it's already rarer, two, it's on the same drop loot table for the Mimic Boss and the Master Casket as all the other third age items, so you have to roll on all those items. And three is that, sorry, I'm not giving you the finger or the Wu-Tang sign. Three is that the axe that like you sell is going to be like mainly the two-handed one if people are wanting that, you know, because they're going to want to use the one that's better for XP. So once they're done with it, they can't just YOLO it and go, okay, take that ingredient back, reverse that, like a lot of items in game. So the one-handed one will be used primarily as the rare ingredient to make this two-handed axe. So if we read on further with what this entails with this update, third age two-hand axe will chop at the same speed as a normal third age axe. However, players will receive 18% more wood cutting experience for each successful chop of a tree, where player would receive logs with a 20% chance not to gain a log through, though each swing of the axe consumes 40% run energy. Players can use Foresters rations to restore 30% of the run energy per swing of the axe. That's going to be insane. Like, like, I know a lot of people are 1 ticking and stuff, or what is it, 3 ticking, I don't know what they do for max EHP, but this is going to change the way people woodcut like that, because there's going to be a lot of meta around it, and I think a lot of people will choose to just get the wood cutting with the 2-handed axe completed instead, because they don't want to be, you know, mucking around with the one-handed to get more logs. It's more about the XP. So I think this would be awesome. You know, maybe they'll use the crystal axe more to maximize efficiency, which is probably better, but I do still think this 3rd age axe, with the way it looks, a lot of people will be wanting to make it and use it here and there and have it as a like luxury item, and that will make this, the one-handed 3rd age axe, a lot more rarer. So I think I'm pretty, I could go into my history of being right with my merches, which has probably a pretty good success rate. Like my portfolio, if I was to tell you, which back on Zeeb's, that forum, I used to give merching tips, and I was successfully merched like purple sweets, because I found loopholes around the G daily limit of them, and it made my bank grow like twice as large, like in a week. Just crazy stuff. So I have had little wins, but this one's like, it's like buying a house, you know, it's only going to go up like in the right area. So I think this is a good merch if you have a bit of money around. So if you want to get your bank a bit more, buy some of those bonds for membership with like money from this merch, this is a good one, fellas and ladies. So yeah, I'm ending this. Sorry I had a bit of a brain fart in the middle of this, or towards the end there. I just was trying to think of stuff, and well, I need more coffee. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one for the Plonster Pays. This is episode 2 all wrapped up, and yeah, you know the item now. It's a 3rd age axe. So peace out and have a good day. See ya.